High tea has always been a foreign concept to me until half a year ago when I visited Oxy Tea Room here in Melbourne. I might not have had high tea before in other venues, but I'm glad they were my first introduction to this exceptional and fancy experience. Joined with me today are the owners Mehboob and Andy, both hailing from Kenya and Taiwan, along with their head chefs Johnny and Patricia, who will also be receiving a question themselves about their culinary creativity. They used to run their operations in a small shop below their student accommodation a few years back, and now they're in a much bigger and polished venue. Now, let's get into the story of Oxy Tea Room. Andy and Mehboob, thank you very much for having me at Oxy Tea Room today. So Kenya and Taiwan are a very interesting ethnic combination when it comes to anything in general. When and where did you both meet?
We both met in Melbourne in 2020. It was just before the COVID lockdowns. And we both bonded instantly because we had shared values with architectural backgrounds and also with our love for food and desserts. And then combining these two just naturally shaped how we always think about design, space, and experiences. Also, tea has also been a big part of both of our upbringings. Coming from Kenya and Andy coming from Taiwan, it's part of a daily ritual. And also both of the countries are known for producing teas. And that shared cultural connection of tea just became the foundation of what we created together at Oxy.
Have you both always wanted to open up a tea shop despite liking hospitality experience?
Well, tea room or a tea shop, it's always been tea shop, but not really like a tea room. So we just want to sell tea originally. But it's quite challenging because we don't have the background. Early days, it's just two of us, so running the shop was really hard, especially just after COVID lockdown. And for us, we just start listening to what customer wants, and when they start coming in, they want more than just tea, so we start making more cheese, basically the stuff from our backgrounds as well. So we basically made Tony's, there was night market, more cheese, and then we also did a lot of small little snacks, some of Kenyan food and the Taiwanese food as well that we serve. So that's the very beginning, but we don't have an actual kitchen setup because when we first designed the shop, it was literally a takeaway tea shop that people come in to buy teas. We have a very small storage room that we have to convert into a kitchen, but it was really small. Afterwards, running that for around 3 to 4 months, we realized, and it was actually a period of the Queen's birthday, so we decided to basically combine everything that we have, the snacks and the teas, into our very first high tea set. And then and so that's the start of the afternoon tea, and after that it was a huge success. And then we decided, okay, if we wanted to do this, because we don't have the background, we need to get someone to come in and join us that actually have the background to go next level with the afternoon tea. So that's kind of the start of everything.
I'm sure you two have been through a long journey to make this tea room a success. What was the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge for us was breaking the stereotypes around tea and also a traditional afternoon tea experience. And also based in Melbourne, it's just naturally very, very competitive. So many people have fixed ideas of what tea or afternoon tea should be. And we wanted to challenge this by offering something a bit more contemporary and approachable, and of course creative. Also another major challenge for both of us was sort of changing our abstract ideas into reality. So developing our afternoon tea themes meant turning a lot of concepts into reality, which is pretty hard. Even just coming from an architectural background, that's always the most challenging part. So when we're doing this, we thought about curating everything from the tea selection, to the food, to the space, to the service. And it took far more time and effort than we ever thought it could. Initially, we used to change our menu every 3 months, but it was very exhausting, so we just changed it to every 4 months. But with that, we're able to push ourselves to the next level and create more memorable experiences for our guests. Yeah.
I think the another biggest challenge at the very beginning was in a, you know, because Melbourne's all about coffee, and not many people actually know about tea apart from bubble teas. So it's actually very hard to get people walk through the doors. And when we first opened, a lot of people walk through the doors and ask for coffee. So that was really hard, you know, breaking that, and then and being the connection of, you know, or, you know, the introduction of tea for people. So I think that's the hardest part that we're still working on trying to bring more people through the doors, and for tea, not just for coffee.
How did you both think of the name Oxy Tea Room, and does it hold any special meanings?
Yep, so oxy, the first word oxy comes from the process of, you know, oxidization when it comes to tea. When you're making tea, a single tea leaf can be made into many different types of tea, depends on how much it's oxidized. So that's why we found this word very interesting, and we wanted to use this word, but it's too long. So adopting Aussie culture, we shortened it into Oxy. So that's how it started with this Oxy Tea Room. Yeah. In terms of, we didn't call ourselves Tea House because we started in a very small, in a laneway, very small shop. It can fit like, you know, 5 to 6 tables. So we don't really, I think it's you know, suitable to call it a tea house. It's not that big. The scale is very small. It's more cozy, so we call it a tea room instead. So that's how everything started with Oxy Tea Room. Yeah, thank you.
There's an amazing tea selection sourced from both your home countries. What can you both tell me about them?
For our tea selection is personal. Coming from Kenya, we feature a lot of bolder teas, which are typically black teas. Kenya is known for growing different kind of black teas from different regions. So we have some from high mountain regions, some from low regions. All of them have their different unique tastes. And then there's also some new innovative tea farming happening in Kenya, where it's the only place in the world that can produce purple tea. So that's why we chose to do Kenyan teas. And then in terms of Taiwan, it's already known for its very artisanal sort of high quality oolong teas. So we also chose teas from there. And then together, by combining these two teas, we just wanted each cup of tea to sort of tell a story of the region of where it's from. And then from that, we initially just started with teas from those two regions, and then we grew to start having more unique blends, which sort of have unexpected twists in a way people usually don't try to drink teas. And then we also added some seasonal teas from around the world, like we have some Japanese or Chinese or South African teas as well. Yeah.
So to elevate the high tea experience, you have your head pastry chefs, Johnny and Patricia, help decide on the theme, on the menu. How do you all decide on the themes?
So our approach generally to developing these themes is mainly comes from our background in design. We're always trained to sort of observe everything that happens around us, to document these ideas, and also to sort of see how spaces can influence how people can experience things. And then over time, we have this shared sort of Google Docs document where we call it an idea bank. So every time we think of anything, we'll just put it in there. And then when it's time to choose a theme, we'll just go through this idea bank and then talk through it. And then Johnny and Pat will see something that can connect with them as well. And then from that, we'll work on translating sort of these ideas into food, and then going through rounds of tasting and designing how everything looks. So all these inspirations come from, like in terms of our flavor or how they look, it comes from like memories, interests, or like combining unique ingredients that people wouldn't think to combine. And then, and also we also push this a level further by trying to incorporate some sort of technology into it, where we have like a QR code experience or an app where people can sort of look at this as an educational process to sort of learn about the theme that we currently have going. Yeah.
So how does Oxy Tea Room stand out from all the other tea rooms in Melbourne?
Well, we break the stereotypes. We don't follow rules, and we tend to be unexpected. So every 4 months we change completely everything. Nothing is kept. We are very experimental. So every 4 months when we change the theme, we always try to incorporate new experience that hasn't been done much in this industry. So yeah, so I think that makes us stand out a lot. And not only that, there's already so many traditional afternoon teas that's already been offering around in Melbourne. But what makes us special is that we do things very differently. And because we don't have the hospitality background, and so our lens, our perspective is very different. So everything that we do is not the traditional way of doing things.
How do you both approach creativity in general? Are there specific influences in your life that have led you to this point? Not just in Oxy Tea Room, but your culinary career?
Okay, so for both of us, we feel like creativity is not something that appears suddenly, but something built over time. That's what we feel like, because it needs to come from the accumulated experience, like day life, travel, cultural backgrounds, everything, and years of working in professional kitchens. Yeah, that's what I feel like. And if you look back to my own first creations until now, there's so much different. Is because the day life, the experience that we experience through all the times here. Yeah, so I feel like every year our creation will keep accumulating, getting better and better every year. Yeah, and then through our culinary careers, we've been influenced by many chefs. We work with different food culture, the respect for the ingredient as well. And then, yeah, I feel like Oxy Tea Room is one of like the stage for our journey to showcase our products, our creativity. Yeah, and a place where we can express our idea more clearly through flavor, texture, and emotions for customer to experience. Yeah.
So for me, creativity doesn't start with trying to be different. So I start slowly build my I think basic discipline and consistency when you do everything is really important. So I think I learned this kind of thing from as a commie, so my chef pushed me a lot. So you need to have discipline like everything. So that then when you become a head chef, you might have the confidence to do all the creative in your future menu, everything. Yeah, and I have learned the real creativity come from first competition in my old job in Singapore. So it's just individual competition in a company. So you had so many different colleague competition together. So start from them. So the chef will guide you how to creative the menu. So start from that, and then I start slowly to build how to creative the menu. Yeah.
Do you have any exciting plans for the future of Oxy Tea Room?
So mainly our focus is just sort of refining what we do rather than just trying to expand too quickly. We always see Oxy as, like Andy said, an experimental place. It's always a work in progress, and we always feel like we're never done with that journey. We keep going. But this year we're trying to concentrate more on improving our overall guest experience and sort of continuing to evolve our afternoon tea. We're also looking to develop our a la carte menu a little bit and create more of an experience around that. Also sort of collaborating with other tea brands to sort of create other cold sort of soft drinks unique to Oxy Tea Room, which are tea based. Yeah, so that's some small exciting stuff in the near future we're looking forward to.
All right, no, sounds good. Thank you very much for the story, both of you.
Thank you.
After getting to experience their whole Victorian themed menu, I realized I don't think there's any place out there that could provide such an amazing modern afternoon high tea experience. It's definitely a bias for me saying this, since Oxy Tea Room is the only tea room I've been to so far, but if you're ever in Melbourne feeling for some fancy tea time, I would highly recommend Oxy Tea Room. Bring your date, bring your family, bring your friends. Their creativity knows no boundaries. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.